Hello everyone, how's it going? Going to do another video. It's another recent game that I played. It's one of those sort of crazy free-for-all games on Raiders. Always enjoy playing these. You start off with 3 workers, split up, no command center, and you got to pick your location of where you're going to build the command center. And then the map's all like randomly generated, so you can see there's lots of resources tightly packed in certain areas. So in this game we've got RVA, myself, got Thrawn, we've got Brat here on the blue, he's already picked his location, and then we got Frost, who is somewhere, he's over here. You see there's lots of fish, tons of ore, tons of Nova, so it can go quite late in the game and you can have quite fun battles with all the sort of techie units. So I'm going to speed it up though, because everyone's got to build a command center, so it's going to take quite a while for everyone to get started with things. And what you tend to see in these games is like maybe 2 people build in like stupidly close proximity to one another, and they have to sort of duke it out for the control of that area and those resources. But it does leave them vulnerable to other players who are not compromised in that way, and they can tech up and go and influence that with like tech level 4 air or T3 air, etc. Because nobody starts with a scout, you tend to make a medic so that you can have a look around and see if you can be the first to find the nerfs and the banthas that can be scattered around and see where your opponents are. So I've built myself over here, and for once I'm actually pretty safe. I do tend to, in experience, end up next to people all the time and have to fight from the get-go, but it's looking quite good. Got some dewbacks here, got access to the sea as well, it's quite wonderful. And because there's not really anyone in this area, I should get all sort of the banthas and stuff that are there and have a really good stimulus to my economy, just hiding them in the nursery. Frost and Brat quite close proximity to one another, and then we've got RVA down here he's loving it. He's also in the same sort of situation. Not really anyone close, plenty of space to sprawl out and make a late game economy. Thrawn as well, not too bad, somewhat near Frost and such. You could see that these 3 players would definitely end up somewhat colliding through the game. Some very nice dewbacks there. And it's quite a good sea to fish in as well, particularly on this side. In fact, this is even better for Brat's side. It's completely open. Don't even see any angry sea monsters either to make things difficult, so that'll be great for his economy as well. Between that and the nursery, he'll quite decent tech times. I think he'll focus a lot of his workers onto carbon. So I'll speed it up a little bit because this is going to be a very long game. Having played it, I do know, and I do remember it because it's quite a recent one. Even a lot of EOPs here that RV can munch on, so he doesn't need to fish as of yet, but he is getting a shipyard built. And everyone will just take their time to get the boats out, sort of double their worker count with that. And then off to T2 and then quickly off to T3, usually. But we could see some shenanigans out of these 3. You can see that Brat has actually dropped the troop centre and is going to send Mounties over to Frost here. This could be very difficult for Frost to deal with. He's going to have to immediately drop the troop centre and rush to get out some trooper recruits to deal with these Mounties. He's probably going to lose a couple of workers in the process. But it's not the worst thing that can happen simply just because you're fishing as well. Losing 1 or 2 workers isn't going to slow you down that much. But what will slow him down is just not being able to be on the dewback, be on the Nova just now. But he's definitely got the resources to fire out the trooper recruits. But you don't want to chase them just when they outnumber you, because 1 Mountie will beat 1 trooper recruit. Now, a new challenger has arrived with Thrawn, who's sent troops over to rush Frost as well. So Frost being in the middle here is Well, he's what you would expect if you're in the middle of two warring players with you. He's going to get the worst of it. Now, Brat's seen that Thrawn's troops were over there, and he's figured, well, he's out of position here, so I might just send my Mounties over and maybe try and snipe a power core. But Thrawn's immediately brought his troops back and got a nice little wall, limited the area that you can get into his base, so he's quite safe here. Could put all his farms and stuff there, that'd be quite good. But RV8 and myself just doing our own thing because there's no one near us and we can just chill, relax and get set up. So RV dropping the Jedi Temple, going to be looking to pick up the holocrons because there are holocrons on the map, some scattered randomly, which are another great thing to have in a free-for-all game like this because it's effectively just free money. So Thrawn pushing back out onto Frost here, sniping a trooper and then just pulling back. Maybe just try to make him overreact, and it's almost like he's attacking just to be safe as he drops the 2 buildings for going to tech level 3. Frost on the other hand, in revenge, going straight over to Brat here. Stop this turret being built. Not sure why Brat gave up on that because it was just almost half a second to go. Troop count goes down enough that you can just throw the Mounties at them as well. He does have a Sith Apprentice out, so he's going to be looking to pick up the holocrons as well. On the other side of things, I too picking up the holocron with Jedi somewhere. There. So we had one there and one there. It's just wonderful how close they are. Nobody else can really get them. Now, it looks like the aggression's sort of petered out here. Just because turrets are up and people are getting close to T3. Because they've got all this extra food going in the meantime. You can see a couple of ships have gone down. I'm not sure if that was due to like a sea beast or if Brat is being aggressive with frigates. I think it's more likely to be a sea beast considering Brat's just on the one shipyard. And these Mounties are just scouting the map. Seem to find some banthas that you can send back home, put in a nursery. I think he's just looking for like another player, probably RVA here. Ourselves over here, we've gotten to tech level 3. I'm dropping a war center just for some upgrades and such. Building a few boats just to maybe take down the sensor boy. Make sure that we don't have frigates sent to us, catching us unawares. They've definitely got the worst of the ocean here in comparison with RV, who's got all of this. Simply just because we're right up against the edge of the map. So aggressive boats from Thrawn here sent over to Frost. The destroyers are really, really big right now because there's not a lot of frigates out. You can see how quickly, basically 2-tap them. I guess maybe 3 hits, but they just attack so fast. And now, unfortunately, I think Frost is going to lose all of his food income here. And he's only got one shipyard to basically build a defense. So his best chance there was to get a destroyer out, which he's done. He's drew first strike there, so I think he maybe stabilised for himself here. But unfortunately, Brat 2 has sent units over. And it's causing him problems. I don't know if Frost is T3. He is T3, so you can make a mech destroyer to deal with that. Frost at the same time sent his units over to be aggressive against Thrawn. He's forced the mech destroyer here. But he will be okay there. But in contrast with all these aggressive actions between each other, they're slowing down what kind of boom that they could have in the game compared to myself and RVA, who are just in these very nice, convenient, safe locations. You can see we dropped another command center here. Just building some anti-air turrets just in case somebody decides to send fighters over, which tends to happen in these games. RVA, on the other hand, is just dropping command centers and grabbing up vital resources. It's like he's grabbing up the Nova here. He's grabbing up some ore over there. Making sure that he's the first one to establish map control in those areas. So Frost is okay. It doesn't look like there's any more aggressive boats being sent his way. See that RV has caught me establishing vision on his coastline. So his fighters are going to get to work on that sensor buoy. Frost sending a mech destroyer over, it'd be aggressive, but Brat still has those Mounties alive, so they're gonna... I'd say they're gonna make short work of it, but they only seem to be able to get one on it at a time. But he has led them to his other mech destroyer, and he doesn't have anything to defend them, because mech destroyers have a sort of minimum range. They can't really shoot back at these Mounties when they're on top of them like that. On the other hand, just going up to 5 command centres here. I'm just going to go for a big boom, because we've got all these boats to sort of sustain us just now. Got tons of food. We don't have to spend any of it being aggressive. I'm getting to work on some sort of military infrastructure, just to make sure we're safe and don't get caught. So Frost with heavy troopers. Like, just because he expects lots of Mounties, but they're not going to fare too well against all the strike mechs that are out. But he is bringing a mech destroyer with them. But he needs to trim that strike mech count down. So he's focus firing them now. But every time he's not too diligent on the micro, the strike mechs kill his units so quickly. They are cheap though. You can see he's looking to bring some mounted troopers in with it as well. So if he gets the strike mech count low enough, he can just get the Mounties on top of the mech destroyers. Brat on the other side of things is also grabbing up resources. You can see he's just going to build a fort right here after getting some of that ore. Same location that RVA built his command center to grab up this ore. Sends the strike mechs over just to block any fire while he gets his fort up. And I don't know if there's a fort yet for RVA. He is dropping his research center, so maybe looking to go T4. I myself have hit T4 just because I had so much money. A nice little shanty town of Wookiee housing. And we're transitioning into all these farms now that they've sort of completed their boom almost. With all these command centers. You can just hear farms being built endlessly. So Thrawn pushing up a little bit and try to establish a bit more map control. I think he's maybe been a bit too restrictive just because it felt safe. He's not really grabbed up much of this map here. And Frost is doing what he can to make sure he doesn't grab up any of this area, because there's a lot of ore here, which is quite a contested area. Because there's not like tons of... well, there is actually quite a lot of strike mechs in it. So it could do quite good damage to these troopers. They've got one more range than the troopers as well, which in an area like this where the units are blocked out by buildings and terrain, the strike mechs are definitely going to win out there. Because it'd be too difficult for the troopers to ball up and shoot them one at a time. Now, as we've dropped all this military infrastructure, we're dropping a fort, sort of securing this area, and unfortunately for Thrawn, you can get quite good access to his economy just behind this carbon rock line. On the other side of things, Brat has built a little army of dark troopers out of his fort here. Go with his strike mechs and his Mounties. RVA built a fort over here, sort of secure more of the area. Tried to get a fort up here, but there's units out in the battlefield is stopping him from building that. Frost looks like he's been pushed back quite a lot here. I don't think the decision for the heavy troopers has really worked out for him here, because the units are just too brittle. And these dark troopers are reaching quite a large mass. Could be quite an incredibly strong unit, particularly against troopers, which, as we know, rebels are quite good with. And they don't take tons of damage as well from air. Like, and plus the speeders as well counter the mechs that the Empire typically tend to make. So you can replace strike mechs effectively with this unit, and the speeders can't really do anything to them. If he brings A, fighters can't really do anything either, because they've just got so much health. 150. About what, like a strike mech? Well, not like, a strike mech's got about 80, I think. Up to maybe 100. And plus, with all this ore, you can justify having enough forts to have that production. So as we talked about before, the carbon rock line, these mech destroyers sitting behind, we've got the upgrade to make them really cheap, which the Wookiees get, so we're just going to use them as sort of an initial army and fodder. Because even though there's tons of resources on this map, if it goes late game, you will run out. So making cost-effective decisions like that are actually quite good. You want to stockpile resources rather than expel them all out as quickly as you can. Because things can go wrong, like another player starts fighting you at that time, or you get flanked, or some bad AC shots wipe your army. You can see the air here, trimming down the cannon count, and try to keep the forts up. Because the forts are the only thing that are really stopping Brat going right through RVA here. Managed to get a couple of Jedi out, it seems. In fact, no, it's Brat who's got the Jedi out so far. Thrawn is packing it in because he's sort of sandwiched here. You can see that Frost has smelled blood and just sent his units over. And I don't think he's really got the economy to deal with all the units that are thrown at him here from the south. And this is the only direction that we can go or expand, so can't feel too bad about it. As we grab up this area and try to get ourselves onto the mainland, away from this little peninsula we've been hiding on. Not really doing anything aggressive to one another here, myself and RVA, simply because there's an ocean between us. We've built turrets just in case that we maybe get raided with the T4 air, but I'd say he's got more pressing issues at hand right now, with the Dark Troopers and cannons knocking down his forts. You see he's dropped some troop centres and building up troops slowly, putting them in the forts. But they're really going to struggle against the Dark Troopers, who are now upgraded to Phase 2, where they've gained 30 more HP. Which means they're basically nice little tanks for Brat's more brittle units like the cannons. The only thing he does lack is some sort of area of effect damage, be it artillery or assault mechs. So Thrawn's base getting split up, quartered and divided amongst myself and Frost at the moment. However, I don't know if Frost has really got the units to stop this Wookiee marching army. Just +1 at the moment for the artillery, but they do go up to +2, which makes them so good and cost effective in trades. And this nice army of mechs here is going to make sure that these artillery are not dying to things like Mounties. A couple of bounty hunters being made as well with a fort here, just in case some sort of Jedi end up onto the units. Frost, just seeing that army, has decided to just quit as well. And so it's now a Mexican standoff between RVA, myself and Brat, as we just kill off these remaining buildings and grab up much more of the land. And Frost going out has just left all this land available. You can see all the Nova, the ore, can add to our pockets. The cannons chipping away at the infrastructure RV is set up here. He seems to just be buying time so he can get Jedi out and convert some of these units. Still making a lot of air, but there's tons of A-mobiles out, and the Empire get really good upgrades for them. They got all that extra range. You can see they have 12 range, so they're almost as much as an air cruiser, I think. So we start building turrets in our economy. Just because we've got the money for it, we're getting all the upgrades and the building upgrades, the turret upgrades. And these are going to really help if it comes down to it that, say, it's myself and RVA left in the game, and he's like dropping Jedi into our base to try and convert things. The turret damage is quite good. And it gives a place for bounty hunters to hide as well. You can see these bounty hunters are just chilling here preemptively. And some of these buildings have gone down. And Brat's really getting on top of them here with just these upgraded Dark Troopers. And it doesn't feel like RV's really got the counter for this. Probably need a lot of strike mechs. A couple of air cruisers as well would be okay. Because he's trying to shoot at them with the air, but all the AA mobiles, they got homing and stuff. Yeah. Jedi as well, taking actually quite a lot of damage. And there seems to be some Sith Masters here, maybe just to convert Jedi. See, they're just chilling there to defend the units. RV's little command center here has been destroyed, and we're just pushing up onto the mainland now. Which could end up saving RVA here, because it's Brat that's really in the way of the forces now. As he gets the assault mechs in, which go great because they're so safe with all this anti-trooper stuff and anti-air. And they can just shoot from afar and do tons of damage. So the artillery, you can see how quickly they're going to take down that fort because there's so much of them. With that 12 range. And Brat has to bring his forces back because this will just roll right through him. You can see all the resources that we've accrued so far just from eating up everything. So we sit nearly pot with this army. Setting up turrets, just trying to make sure that this location's a bit more secure. And RV is okay now because Brat's pulled his forces back. Unfortunately for Brat, these forts are sort of his production as well for his Dark Troopers. He doesn't want to be losing them. And he hasn't grabbed up like too much ore on the map here. Gonna get some good arcs here because this carbon's making things a bit worse for our army here. And these units are having a bit of a breakdown. And the Dark Troopers are tanking a lot of shots. He's put them on staggered as well, so it's just that the assault mechs are doing alright. A couple are going down now. They are quite expensive. But I think we've got enough resources to weather this storm. Now, while this is going on, RV is definitely going to be out hunting for revenge here. You can see this air flying up across the map. Those Sith Masters are coming across and doing a bit of conversions. And I think our problem at the moment is that our production is all the way over here from where we built that army, and the front is here. So we're quickly trying to set up new production. And maybe transition into building troopers just because they're cost effective. We want to make grenadier troopers and try and kill these assault mechs with not too much losses. The air on the other hand is looking to just snipe units. Snipe workers and stuff, but there's tons of anti-air everywhere. I'll be flying around looking for some opportunity to do damage, but We've got lots of upgrades for the anti-air. He's flying over turrets and anti-air mobiles and what have you. Just taking tons of losses there. The assault mech's going for the turret. Turrets do great damage though. These mech destroyers looking to tank while these grenadiers get some hits in. Really hard to bring these down because they got shields as well, but and you see the grenadier damage adding up. His artillery getting knocked out of that fight just by the carbon rocks there. They've found a bit of an angle. I think these turrets are doing tons of damage to these Dark Troopers as well. It's really adding up there. See RV pushing up now. So Brat's in a bit of a struggle because he's built all this quite far away from the rest of his base. And all of his infrastructure has rallied to this point to try to hold me. Doesn't seem to be much units from myself at the moment though, pushing on him. Probably because of that supply line breakdown with everything down here. But RV is getting on top of him here. He's ran quite a few workers away, he's just basically assumed that this is going to get sacked. And RV's brought a lot of cannons as well, which will kill the buildings very quickly. And the air cruiser shot as well, which with a choke here is quite difficult for him to get his anti-air mobiles right up. So we're going to get some very good shots there, and all of these are very low in health. There's not really any Dark Troopers anymore. He's lost a lot of his forts as well, which he made his Dark Troopers out of. Power core goes down, so the shield generators are unpowered, which is quite bad. Going to take quite a few losses here. Need to rebuild that ASAP. RV's tidied up this entire base here and grabbed up all that land, so he's going to be looking to push on to Brat's infrastructure now. Brat calling GG because he realises he's just caught between two players now. And he's lost a lot of his economy. And, and infrastructure. So now, just myself and RVA here. He's pretty much stabilised. But we're definitely in a good situation. We've got lots of money. And we've kind of got half the map, and he's got probably half the land mass as well. But I don't know if he's really got the same concentration of wealth that we've had both on this peninsula and the areas that we've grabbed up here. As a lot of it seems to be concentrated in this area. Which we've definitely got control of with the shield generators, the turrets. That's where our units currently are. As we try to clean up the leftover army from Brat. And no units are more dangerous than a defeated player's units. It's almost like they do double damage, I swear. So air pushing up, maybe to do a bit of scout, snipe off some units. Give RVA a bit of knowledge of where he should have his units and how he should approach this. As we're quickly just trying to get into the middle of this area and create a front that's beneficial for us. We almost want it to be in front of all these resources that we've grabbed up. You see our economy at home's looking fine. We've got some bounty hunters there. We've got those turrets fully upgraded now. Just littered through all the farms. So we can almost forget about this area and just focus on what we're doing over here. We feel that this will be fine, even if he drops some Jedi. We've got some bounty hunters there at the moment. There's a fort not too far away. You can see we're creating some walls as well, just to limit any Jedi like running into the base. Because it's those kind of situations that pull you apart and make you make mistakes that can be capitalized on. Rebels are a bit more of like a tricksy sort of civ rather than a like brute force one. They tried to push up and take this area, but definitely come off worse there just because of the established shield generators and turrets. So all those cannons go down. And I think he took some air cruiser shots as well that he didn't really know about onto his troopers. Because the troopers are quite low in health, the ACs just decimate them. So all the ore that we've got, we kind of just want to slow push with anti-air turrets and our units and try to abuse range and such. And the ACs will maybe come in now and again to try and get a big shot off on the troops. So he's got his own air cruiser now as well. Which is definitely going to be quite safe with the shield and all the air. The problem for us is that we don't have the same upgrade that some of the civs get for the anti-air mobiles, so they're capped at 10 range rather than going up to about 12. So they do struggle with countering air cruisers. Now if we get air cruisers out, RV can at least just suicide some air forward and knock them down. See if we're creating a sort of like a safe zone just to keep the air cruiser in between shots. And use it for big shock damage on the army. Try and pick them apart when the troops go down. Create those windows in between the troops being created and being in the location they need to defend. The shields are definitely helping there since they're doubling the health pool. Tricky for him to stop the cannons unless he's got Jedi out to convert them. Once the Jedi are there, that's going to be the big problem for us to circumvent. Sort of the interaction between the air, the troopers, the air cruisers and the Jedi, sort of countering every sort of options that we have. What this will really come down to is cost effectiveness for RVA here, with his units. That you can convert, abuse the air cruisers a bit better, and then just pure sort of brute force with all the resources that we've gathered up. What you'll see me wanting to do is widen the combat area, because it limits how effective air cruisers can be, the Jedi can be. It puts more pressure on. Because it's not really a doubt that we've got more stuff on the ground, so the better we spread it out, the more opportunities for damage we'll have. It's a bit annoying with these assault mechs just sitting there. I think RVA should just convert them and use them to do some damage on me. Although just leaving them seems to have the same effect, as I talked about the defeated player AI. Look at it go. Getting in there. So trying some Mounties out. I think the Mounties are just to get rid of Brat's base. Because we want that area and we want all these units to stop harassing us. Having it make bounty hunters and throw them in there as well. Try and snipe a Jedi or two every time they try to do something. These units are being a bit suicidal though. Air cruiser getting a decent shot there. And flying back at the safety area. These Mounties start killing everything over here. Right, a lot of air cruisers out for RVA here. See, these guys just can't quite get into range in time. They just fly away. And if they overextend, they're going to get shot by the air cruisers as well. RVA, on the other hand, doesn't have a shield here anymore. Definitely wants to get the shield up because it's what keeps his troopers safe from the air cruiser shots. Since they outrange all this stuff, they can just take a shot here and there. Loses the air cruiser, but does clean up those anti-airmobiles. See, RV is still fishing. He's eating a lot of fish this game. Even getting some of this sea because it wasn't finished yet. So still killing this base. Once this base is out of the way, it can widen the area of which we can push by quite a lot. And basically double it. Which, for the nature of these, like this big ball of air cruisers, they kind of need to be in the one spot, and all the units need to be with them as well, just to make sure that they don't get sniped. You know, I totally forgot about this crossing during the game. We did wall it though, so it's fine. But yeah, I totally forgot about it. I maybe should have used this. Damn. So there's a bit of a stabilization period here. We're not really fighting too much at the moment. RV is just looking to pick things off. You can see he can shoot in that area, and the area of effect will hit the shield generator without him getting too close to the turrets. We just got to put turrets up to be enough of a deterrence. And make sure if he comes to try and snipe the air cruiser that we've got, we'll get a lot of kills on the fighters. Pushing up with small amounts of units. The Wookiees have definitely got the better troopers, I think. Because they get a bit more armour. You see the difference in armour there in the middle stat. Made some air here. I'm looking to take a trade, but it took me ages to realise that these are fast fighters, and for some reason I just thought they were advanced fighters. And it's not like I can't afford it. But what I did find is that I bring them into a fight and then I'd realise, these don't have as much range as they should do, because they've only got 3 when they should have 4, since they're not advanced fighters. They kind of look the same as the advanced fighters for the Wookiees though. Like, they don't really look that different to me. So that's a bit annoying. Because Nova's quite scarce at this point. See, RV's trying to convert this spaceport. I think he's maybe worried that I start trading with it. Which is a viable concern, because it is something that you can do. In situations like this where the player's dead, you keep that building alive and you can actually trade with enemy spaceports and give yourself Nova. It's a little bit BM to do that though. In my opinion. Now these Jedi are snuck behind the army, and you see the bounty hunters are out of position, so he's going to grab up some of these shields. It's a bit annoying. That isn't a huge effect on things, but losing the turret's really annoying because it's where we're rallying our air currently. And these guys are rapidly trying to get into a more compromising position in our economy. But he's decided to turn back because he's seeing a lot of scary stuff on the way, troopers and such, bounty hunters rallying. Probably better to save his Jedi and keep them alive. At the same time, we've sent an army of troopers over here just to do a bit of damage. Pulled his air away and stuff. And we're just trying to pick him apart. So when we send an army over here, we're looking to do some damage at the front, push him back a bit. You see we got a little force over here, with the air as well. And this army is so slow to move between like this area, this area, this area. And that's what you've got to abuse. Can't really take them head on because there's just so many of them. So we're walling up here, try and limit Jedi running in. We've got shield walls. Just want to make sure that no Jedi are going to run in invisibly past the armies and start converting buildings and infrastructure. Because if that happens and I lose my infrastructure and I lose my army at the same time to the air cruisers, then I'll find that I've lost this area because I'll just get pushed on. Just creating these little armies that can sort of trade quite well against, you know, one or two of the things he would send to deal with them. I was trying to get an air count up to rival them, but these not being advanced fighters is a big issue. Because it's going to make the trades really poor for me. We're building more turrets and just expanding what we have. Now I'll be moving right over to the left-hand side to basically snipe some of these buildings, I think. And as he does that, we're moving all this units over here on the complete opposite of this landmass. And I might not have as much air as he does, but when I combine my air with the AA mobiles and stuff, it's they'll trade quite well. I'm just showing him that we've got these fighters here, and it's forcing him to be a little bit more relaxed with his pushing. So to make all these troopers and send them over to trade with us. Turret's getting some shots in, but he's getting all this basically for free. However, we bring our fighters over when he sends the troopers to go and deal with this army, because his air's over here, and it has to keep the air cruisers safe. So the air cruisers almost need to walk back while these guys watch them do it, and then they can come over and fight this army. And now we're getting these troopers in a more compromising position for him and his economy. And if he takes the trade, we've got the anti-air mobiles there to make sure we do a lot of damage to his air count. Now that we've got those into position, we're going to try and grab up more land with the turrets and start pushing here. Try and get some shots off. Imagine if they had that 2 extra range though, I think that one would go down. We've almost got them sandwiched between the two armies. The range sucks. Oh, we got that one. Hooray. These guys are overextending a little bit, I think, but there's not really anything else for them to kill so much there. so now that we know that the army's pretty much dead, we fly the air back to reinforce the front again. But it was a decent success there. Again, trying the air cruiser, get a shot off, do some damage to the troops. I'm trying some strike mechs now. Just to keep these low amounts of troopers. Stop them balling up. So I decided to try and take this trade with the A-mobiles, but like I'm clicking them and I'm trying to snipe them, and I'm realizing, wow, my range is really bad. Because I know where the units, where I feel the units should be when they start shooting the air cruisers. So I don't know if I've realized just yet. But I've got that thought in the back of my mind. Why are my fighters so bad? Got a nice amalgamation of turrets. And the more you have in sort of like a lateral line with each other, the harder it is to like snipe them one at a time with the air cruisers. Because if you mess up the micro, you'll end up taking like 2 turret shots at a time, which will absolutely guarantee you lose at least 1 air cruiser. Still not realised. Maybe I'm going to try again and then realise the pain. I see these troops are completely undefended right now. Try and kill a few. You see at the same time as I pull his air away and his troops are over there, I'm trying to snipe the air cruisers. But he's been quite diligent and moved them right back to the shield. But he's almost signalling to me that, you know what, I'm giving up all of this area. So we're just going to crawl forward. Bringing a few more artillery back into the fighting. Get some area of effect damage on the troopers. The AC will get a nice big shot. So we start building turrets for the army and just grabbing up more of the land. And the air cruisers will need to come back. RV mixing in some mechs as well, which I think they definitely help, just with the different ranges and armors and stuff. It sort of layers your army. It helps to tank more shots but have more units firing at the time. And they're doing decent damage as well to the A-mobiles that are trying to crawl up and shoot his air cruisers. Doesn't really have an answer for the air cruiser as such that just shoots on his army. See some strike mechs just roaming around here. Don't remember doing that actually. They're going in looking for an opportunity to do some damage, but unfortunately I'm running through a lot of troopers here, so you're doing alright to them. Quite a bit of damage. Quite focused on this this army. But they're going to get in, and they're going to kill some workers that are bringing home the bacon from the farms here. That's one thing I didn't consider for a long, long time. There's still 2 holocrons there, completely forgot about. think we've got 2 down here at home. RBA must have the other one. I think we were just under the assumption that he had the 3 holocrons. Just forgot about this part of Brat's base. So we could have went up to 4 holos for ourselves there. Should have made these trades feel a lot more comfortable using the Nova on air cruisers and fighters and stuff. Not having a shield here is a problem. Shield's almost done though. That'll really help that army stabilise, and then the AC shots as well. I'm going to try and snipe this one. So here, I feel the range really would have helped. But with him having so many air cruisers, when we get into a close fight like this with the shields so close to one another, we're going to come off second best. Because the ACs are safe. We can abuse that big range that we've got, the 12 range. There's moments like this where we're just sort of thinking about what do we do next. Because this is a very strong position. There's even a hill giving sort of bonuses to the units and stuff. Starting to mix in anti-air troopers, looking for a cost-effective solution. Because the AA mobiles are not working too much. And they get converted as well, which is a problem. This little army here, cutting this area off. And it's starting on the Mounties. Definitely feel our salvation lies within the troop centre. We are comfy though, because if you look at all the turrets we've built in that area, shields and stuff, and then we got all the rest of this map as well, we're chilling. RV on the other hand's kind of just got this area, and then everything else is exposed. The fighters are roaming around looking for kills, any workers that might be mining. And if he sends us there, we'll just fly away. We've still not realised they need to be advanced fighters. Ages it's been. These Mounties going to grab this power core, try and lower his infrastructure a little bit. These power cores are strong though. They're just running into the economy. I thought, you know what, I could kill his houses. I would hate losing my houses at this point in the game. Definitely need more units on the front though. And these guys are just looking for the air cruisers, try to get an angle on them. Those houses are going down. I wonder if they had any impact, or has he got too many forts maybe? Yeah, not making any impact it seems. A ton Ton of houses everywhere, I guess. Still crawling with the turrets. 3 more units sent over to the front here. Try trade. This guy's trying to get a shot in, but just not managing. These units now try to cut this off a little bit, find an angle, pick apart the air cruisers. The A mobiles keep getting converted. These guys are still going strong though, killing stuff. To get something on this side now. So it looks like Arby's weathered that storm there. Fort just to feel a bit safer. With all the upgrades, it's got quite a lot of health. 7,700. Again, unfortunately, our biggest mistake seems to be not realising that the other 2 holocrons are in there. That would have really helped. You see this Nova as well. We haven't quite. Yeah, we do know about it. We should be eating it. And I do feel quite deterred from going like assault mechs or lots of artillery or anything like that, just because well, it costs Nova and it can just be converted as well. So it has to be almost food carbon, low cost units, and then just splitting them up everywhere to get the most value out of them. Pick them apart. See the AC count's dwindling, so he must be running out of Nova really, because he's only got the 1 holo. These Mounties have sent onto the animal nursery. It's the case that's really sustaining his food economy. Which I would say is, because he doesn't seem to have an economy anymore really. Not a lot of workers kicking about. Just got to get the most out of these units as you can. So as it looks a bit hopeless for him here almost with his economy, I'm still of the assumption he's got 3 holocrons and there could be tons of Jedi kicking about and stuff. So I don't want to overcommit too much. I'm just trying to take a very slow, relaxed approach because I don't want to find that my army gets wiped and I don't have the resources to replace it, and then I can't win any trades with like super cost effective Jedi or air cruisers. I mean, the carbon is fine. There's still a bit left on this side, but it is running out. So really widen things here. Or fight here, or fight over here, fight over here, fight over here. So I create a situation where I can snipe the air cruisers. See, I'm looking for them. Try to find them. I'm back on the mech destroyers. Tons of anti-air out now. Getting a bit hoarse. It's been an hour. Few bits of artillery. I never want to just commit to like one like massive unit. I want to keep the army versatile like a Swiss Army knife, you know? Just spread it out a bit. Sniping some of these Jedis that come forward, which is it's horrible for him to lose a Jedi now, knowing what I know that he's only got the one holocron. More shields, more turrets and stuff. Just a slow, methodical killing. I'd say at this point, like, oh, he's just having a bit of a think what you can do. Look at the money. So much carbon and just no food over. I think he maybe needed the time just to get, you know, like a lot more workers out. And it's easy to rebuild a lot of his farms here actually. But his army requires so much babysitting. It's hard for him to put the time aside to go and, you know, like fix the eco. Because he's getting attacked from many different angles. Like a hawk watching for these air cruisers to just be undefended. So he managed to snipe one there just from the side. It'd be so much easier if it just had the +2 extra range on these guys. I guess they just feel that, you know what, Wookiees have got fighters. You can make advanced shielded fighters. Not that I remember that in this game. These trades are bad for him because no AC pressure, and the ACs are down to 2 now. It used to be at like 6. Well, I've got 2. This command centers are starting to get hit now by the artillery. New shield as we grab up more land. Secure those much coveted, sweet Muja fruit bushes. AC's looking for a shot in the army. Will they get it? Bam, big shot. A lot of things going low. Second one, oh, quite a few units going down. Looking to do the same with the troopers here, but they're quite spread up. Oh, these anti-air troopers though. Managed to snipe the ACs. Sneaky boys. Imagine if I used this. I could actually just rally things from here. These guys moving up though. Some units getting converted. Probably the anti-air mobiles. He's now almost getting hit from 3 angles on this shield generator. A-mobile's getting stolen. He's getting some shot there, but the shields have really helped out the A-mobiles. But he does get away. So he's almost coming from the left-hand side where there's not any units just now. Try to convert from that angle. We'll whittle down the anti-air mobile count. Definitely need to get more units on the left-hand flank. because that's the gateway into his economy. Making tons of bounty hunters because I just keep hearing the conversion noise. And again, I think he's got 3 holos, so I just feel there's a massive Jedi somewhere hidden. There's a flash of them. There's maybe about 5 or 6. Coming in here, try to steal the shield generator. Not too many troopers there, so they're gonna get away with it. That guy survives, what a hero. These sentry posts just giving me a bit of vision of what's going on. Because there's a lot of carbon here that's up for grabs. Which is very relevant at this point in the game. To build a new shield generator next to the imposter. Forgot about all these little nerfs that are just sitting, could have grabbed up. Could have probably given up on farming with that. About more anti-air mobiles. It's not just going to be a long, really, stretch if I'm trying to be cost effective with Jedi. Because I think as my carbon count's getting quite low here, I'm getting more and more cautious about how I approach this. Still fast fighters. Feels bad. I can see all these workers just farming away. I don't like that. The sentry post sees all. Oh, these guys are griefing. See the angle they went to go run into that command center. This one not involved apparently. It's distracted them here, giving us a bit of a breather. Rebuilding an army on this side. Couldn't have come in on the left. Speed up a little bit. Because it's really dragging on. Try and get this carbon here, but these fighters are saying no. Because we see everything with the sentry posts. And there's not really anything you can do with his air. Because he's just got to respond, but with how fast workers die, there's not really anything to respond to. That's why static defense is so important. Just looking for anything we can snipe. Make things seem more hopeless. I don't know what it is about that speed that really makes things a bit deteriorating. It's not the start of the game. Little army pushing up here. So got some bounty hunters as well, looking for this Jedi that love to come and they love to come and convert the anti-air mobiles. There will be no carbon. Turrets expanding this side. Only really got a choice to push into this area where we've got a lot of room to maneuver and outflank the army. Still fast fighters. So, brought our air over there, his air's come over and taken some of these units down. The anti-air mobiles are getting the damage in. And now we're adding turrets, going to eat up this carbon and sort of expand this area to the network. Bounty hunters getting some shots here. One goes down. And as we get this little bit, we can actually crawl over here because this area is empty. And almost flank behind the shield generator. Try to snipe the turret. Yeah, I'm gonna try to kill these, but can't get them. But I don't think you can defend this army without his air. That's what we're almost banking on. It's the air to come over here, and then we snipe the air cruisers. And then if the air cruisers go down, this just loses. It just gets overwhelmed. Got my AA mobile stolen. That could very well be the moment. There we go. Finally. 2 hours, 53 minutes game time. It has dawned on me. This is why things are so difficult. I am missing one range. These workers over here, they know nothing of war. Absolutely nothing. It's all nice to have all that carbon munched. Introducing the Mounties now, because nothing seems to really be taking us on here. So just figure, why not? And finally, advanced fighters. Now we want to trade. Just want to trade with his air. Or snipe these, or suicide for them. And generally coming in here, grabbing more of the anti-air mobiles. So is he finding a window to deal with these? Was there? He might be. Don't know where mine is. There it is. Who is this hero? You will be remembered. I need the vision. I want to reveal the Jedi with the sentry posts. Because if you don't know, they're a detector. Apparently a lot of people don't realise these little buttons here. Shield indicator, power indicator, stealth indicator, detector indicator. So if they're lit up, it represents that, like, this unit is lit up, it can detect. Oh, I just want to snipe them. Not quite. I think I need like box formation and click. I need to click really close to them and then hit attack. You hit attack, your units just sort of stop dead and then try and attack the unit. And it messes up how close they can get in a quick amount of time. Because the other guy's there will just walk into them and then start firing. New turret. Oh. Absolute heroes. It's all about the troopers here. Now this part of the base getting munched on. There's only one air cruiser now. Well, he's built another one. We feel there's only one, so we're getting a bit bold. More heroes on the way. It's like that one guy, we've just cloned him. And he's now every anti-air trooper we build. Using his genome. I really want to kill this temple, because I feel like there's 3 hollows in it while I'm playing. But yet, they lurk in here. Maybe did eat that Nova. It's looking a bit bleak now. Air cleaning this up. And him bringing the air there as I hit the temple just makes me feel there's 3 hollows in there. Jedi flanking the army. The bounty hunters are on it though. Starting to look like we can just throw everything at a different angle now and just brute force and overwhelm. Send the air out. I'm looking for a trade. Let's just snipe all these bounty hunters. So the Jedi could be more effective against these guys. Land the air over the shield here. We're gonna just push on it now. I'm almost hoping to get the anti-air troopers over here so they can flank anything that comes to shoot them. He's moving everything over to the fort and the shield generator. Quite a squad there. More turrets as well, just to make sure we're not getting pushed out here. Can use some shields. Sentry post to see Jedi. Have more vision, see where the air cruisers are coming from. We just start dancing the air around. Put the threat there. He's walked up to these anti-air troopers. Oh, he just sniped them. They went really low. I think we're just going to go for it. Yep, and run away. 1 AC now. More bounty hunters arrive. Now we've taken so much land, we're going to wall and try and limit any Jedi making it past the army, where the detection is and the units that can kill them. So AC might go down. Yep, the hero troopers once again. And now we're thinking, you know what, it's time, we'll just go in. If he had 3 hollows though, he'd be able to get more air cruisers out, have a lot more Jedi over the course of the game. There'd be a lot more opportunities for him to push back on me. He might have been able to fight on like 2 fronts as well. It's like the hollows are such a big deal over this like length of time when resources are scarce. So these guys are snooping around, like looking for some opportunities. There's not a lot of them though. And all these turrets as well, as they come forward and the sentry post reveal them, they get shot at. The turrets do quite decent damage to the Jedi. Try and snipe some of these troops. Let's see, we've ran out of carbon now. Carbon party's over. It's all gone. Not replacing a lot of the farms, just a few. Making some advanced berserkers, because they're fast, they cost food and Nova. Quite a lot of health actually. It feels so squishy though. Is it just that they don't have armor? Or what's the deal? Might just be that they've got hard counters, they just get pumped by strikes and stuff. I don't know. Every time I use them they feel super squishy. They actually have quite a lot of health. All I really need to do is push up. But my brain is like, this temple must fall. So these boys are on a mission. Times are tough when you're converting the troopers. I do have some air left. Oh, they just annihilate buildings. They're so quick. I love it. Just run in and run out. There's not really any air cruisers, I don't think, unless they're hidden. No, he doesn't have any. I just feel he does. Probably could have shaved an hour off this game if I knew about the holos, and I had the holos. Because I just feel a lot more confident to surge Nova units forward and stuff. So there's the completed wall now. And then this hill in the middle. It's quite aesthetically pleasing, that. Just chilling on the hill. The only way in. Here, looking for anything to snipe. Doing a bit of scouting as well. And here come the Wookiees. Their main mission, their main prerogative. Take down that temple. So I brought the fighters with me. Stop it. What to do? So I hope you can appreciate why I'm being so cautious here, even though it looks so bleak for LRV. It's because we just don't have any resources other than the food. And these units are all very squishy. Waiting for the moment where it feels right. I could just go in. Sack the base, put an end to it. These lads are away to eat some Eopies. 3 hour 30 Eopies. But the sentry post sees all. This is about what I can see. As you can see, I can't see what's going on here. All I can see are some Jedi coming up, and I feel there's ACs or something. Some more anti-air being brought over. Sack the temple once again. I'm definitely going for it this time. No holocron there though. It's in a different castle, a different temple. I've got more air than he does now. See all those unit movements with this sentry post. See these workers. We want them. You can't have nice things. Kill that bit of vision. Troops getting converted. I'm starting to see more of what's here now, so we're seeing that it's looking very scarce. Sentry post. That's looking like an angry send everything moment. For these guys to tank, troops coming forward, air coming in as well. We're just going for it now. Time to strike. Jedi hide in the temple. Some more units coming over. This is like everything that we've got, really. Could get these guys on it. Get that upgrade where they do more damage against buildings. The fort's quite strong though. 7k health, doubled with a shield. But what we can make is Mounties now. Shield goes down, and that'll start to decay. I think that's really all there is left for him. So it's quite a fun game. Mainly just because nobody built next to us for once, and get to chill. Have a nice super boom and not get T4 aired by some tryhard as well, and felt good. Then when we're ready, just crawl through the map and take what we want. And there's not really anything that can stop this. So the Wookiees win. Or did he let them win? Who knows? I think once the fort goes down, that'll be it. It has fallen. These last Jedi. He's now hiding them in the command center. Not as strong as the fort though. Not as stalwart. So we'll fall quite quickly to the Mounties here. And these Jedi they're basically just waiting for the Jedi to pop out. So he calls GG. That's it. With very slowly and methodically picked them apart there and got the win in the end. Not taking too many risks. Well, if you made it to the end of this video, congratulations, because that's quite a long video. Leave a comment, leave a like on the video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel, get notified when posting videos. Try to be a bit more active these days. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.